Last week was my first week of training on my new block to hit a sub 19 5k and a sub 40 10k within the next 4 months. It went abysmally. I feel like all my videos start like this. I feel like I only show my lows, none of my highs. I feel like I'm rage baiting people into giving me sympathy for how shite I am at running or how much I don't improve. But it just did. It didn't go very well. I mean, part of it was my fault and not my fault. My fault. That was all my fault. I'm out on a very easy 12k run just now. The problem with filming myself and talking when I'm out on easy runs is I end up down wee roads that I've never been down and I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm at. I'm only 10 minutes from my house. It can't be that hard to find out where I am. Oh, there's no fucking beetles around here. I don't really trust when you can see one of these around where you're running. The problem with running, and I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, in fact I'm sure they have because I've spoke to plenty of runners, is you just can't get away with anything. I feel like with lifting you can make loads of progress on 3 or 4 times a week. I feel like with running you can run 3 or 4 times a week, but it's so hard to recover from. So if you don't know what you're doing between those 3 or 4 runs, I think you can stay the exact same level. What I've started to realise is I actually have probably too much on to improve the way I want to at running. I actually think I can do the training. I just can't recover from the training. My brain's too switched on all of the time. Fuck me, where am I? I think my mate's Gran used to live down here and it was dodgy, mate. It was a very dodgy place. I've been watching quite a lot of like running coaches, probably running influencers and just athletes, for lack of a better phrase, talking about like how seriously they take training and talking about all the minor details they focus on. Like people, I can't even remember what it was called. Like there's people basically, it sounds like they were sniffing beetroot. I don't know what benefit that has to running. I'm sure it does something, but that's just a level of dedication I'm not willing to go through. I used to even fall out with my mum just for having beetroot in the fridge because it stinks that badly, and I'll definitely not be eating it even if it benefits my running. I think what annoys me the most about running is I picked it up in lockdown like a lot of people in 2020, and within 7 weeks, maybe because of my footballing background, maybe because I'm just a bit of a athletic specimen that way, or I used to be, I done a sub 25k, done it in 19 minutes and 35 seconds, and I remember posting about it back then because I was just starting to PT and everyone said I couldn't do it. So I went and done it and I was like, fuck yous, I'm fucking amazing at running. And then I didn't run for 3 years. I picked it back up, but the difference was I was 25 in 2020, I was 78 kilos. I was unemployed for about 4 weeks of that training block because I got sacked from a call centre. That was my last job before I started coaching. So when I started running again in 2023, my circumstances were wild different. I was 10 kilos heavier and I had an all-encompassing coaching business, and I still have that business, and if anything every year it just becomes even more all-encompassing. And now I also have a missus, we have a mortgage, she works in palliative care as a doctor, so she is highly stressed. We both just work in industries where we take on a lot. I feel really bad when I say that because being a doctor and being a coach, no comparison there. Being in palliative care is obviously tremendously more difficult than being a coach. Sometimes I feel like I care about my clients' results more than they care about them. Not a dig at them, but that's just the way I'm wired. For example, last week I done a client event where they were all working up to do personal bests, and so was I. I actually done my 200 kilo deadlift. I don't even remember it, I don't even care, but all 4 of the clients that came done personal bests, and I'm still more excited and more buzzing about their PBs. I couldn't even give a fuck about mine. Tell you what does de-stress you. But I think doing a 1935 5k back in 2020 when I was 78 kilos, I didn't have a pick of muscle on me, I didn't have a pick of fat on me, I had abs, I had no stress, I didn't really care about my job, I was unemployed for some of that time. I think that's really warped my perception of what is possible given my circumstances now, being a highly stressed fucking unit. Trying something new here. I think last week was the first week where I've really sat and went, okay, right, I need to accept a few things. Because I started the week off thinking, right, this is going to be the block. I'm going to make as much progress as I possibly can. I'm going to tick as many boxes as I possibly can. I'm going to lock in. And I ended the week with very different emotions. Not good. It's not good. I don't know if I could have that again. Started off on Tuesday with a nice 8k, that went fine. Listened to a Spencer Matthews podcast though, which probably sent my heart rate through the roof. Wednesday went out for Aoife's 31st birthday because she's getting ancient. Then on Thursday sent her away on her holidays with her best mate. Yes, she booked a holiday without me, which I thought was illegal in relationships, to be honest, and I have been gaslighting her about it for months. But then she texts me half an hour later saying her best mate had lost his passport. It's a really flamboyant man, don't worry about it, she's not cheating on me. But like I said, we take on a lot of stress, so I was like, please go on this holiday, like even if it's just on your own. And I don't think she was gonna go on her own, so I made a split decision there and then to book a last minute flight to Malta, bomb it down to our mate's house, pick her up, bomb it on the M8, and we just made the flight on time. And I found myself in Malta when I thought I was going to find myself at the end of that night in the bath after a hard day of work. So yeah, my second run ended up being in 25-degree heat. I was meant to do 30 minutes of 440 pace and I died on my arse. I ended up doing 3 times 10 minutes at just some kind of effort because I was running up roasting hot mountains in the town of Valletta in Malta. I was meant to have the rest after that run, but the next day I had to run 10k easy. It was roasting again, so anything didn't feel easy. And then my long run, I had to shorten it because I was ghost, because I'd done it after a day in, what was the place called? Gozo! It's called Gozo. It sounds like Gaza. That's how I remember that. So yeah, I had to do that at 7 o'clock at night once it cooled down, and I'd been walking all day, probably had a bit of sunstroke, so I done 10k. I didn't get up to the paces I was meant to get up at, and I called it early because this man was goosed. Oh yeah, and I done all of that in amongst being in the middle of my launch for Get Back Into 8, which is my 8-week fat loss program, which is the only fat loss program on the market that actually teaches you how to lift and has multiple touch points throughout the week where you will get feedback on form videos. And it's 99 quid if you're on the early bird offer. It's probably just about to go live. It's going to go live on the 1st of May. So put yourself on the priority list in the description below. So because the trip was extremely impromptu, I didn't have 4 days off of work to take. So I made posts about my program, Get Back Into 8, on the 4-hour flight over for 2 or 3 hours on the first day, for 2 hours on the second day, whilst on the boat to the day trip, and for the 4 hours on the way back. From what I've seen from the people I watch that are doing the sub 3 hour marathons and the fast 5Ks and the fast 10Ks, they don't have a massive running background that haven't been doing it that long, like myself. For me, from what I've seen and what I've heard them say, running is their main priority. I've heard people that I follow say they sacrifice everything for running, but for me, it goes relationship, because what's the point in anything if you've got a partner and it's not really for them? Then it's my coaching business, and honestly, running is quite far below that. If anything, I do it so I can document something to show I know what I'm talking about. Half of what I do with running and YouTube is to show people that I can coach them, and it's to learn things about training so I become better at coaching. So honestly, that bottom bit is actually just to facilitate the coaching business. There is stuff I can do. I can get better at running. I remember feeling like this with lifting when I didn't have responsibilities, and I found the 5-3-1 program and I ran that for a year, and it took my bench press from probably an 81 rep max to probably like 105 or 110. I done 100 and it was really easy. So I need to find all the little mini wins and things I can do for running with my situation and not watch what anyone else is doing. I need to find what works for me and the stresses and responsibilities that I have. I just want to show what it's actually kind of like behind the scenes, and I don't want to be like trying to be like over the top relatable, because that really makes me cringe. And I don't want to keep posting videos like, oh, I'm trying to do a goal and I can't quite do it because of all these stresses. I want to actually find the answers, like having the porridge straight after I finished training. I was meant to stretch. I forgot to stretch because I was making a YouTube video. So I'm going to stretch as well. And yeah, I think the main thing I'm going to try to do is just chill out a little bit. And I mean that chill out in the sense of to help me get better at running. Because I think that's my main problem, is I'm too switched on all the time. And I need to be able to switch off sometimes if I want to recover from running. So yes, that's the video finished. Here's a video up here that you'll probably enjoy watching. I've probably ranted a bit less than that. Well, that's a promise I can't deliver on. I rant quite a lot. But yes, I shall catch you in the next one. May, June, July, August. I'm going to be trying to do a sub 19 5k and a sub 40 10k. 10k? Not 10k, men. For 40 minutes. Running 10k in under 40 minutes. I'm going to try to do that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Can't believe I'm going to put that on the internet, but I am.